guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Anna Inspiration, and today we'll be doing Speaking Spiritual, episode 8. Okay.
And
let's
hop in it. So our title today is People Forget, and the scripture comes from Deuteronomy 8 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, God reminded the Israelites that he allowed them to experience hunger in the wilderness, but then provided an amazing supper food for them every day. He supplied clothing that never wore out. God's faithfulness continues through all generations. Whenever we find ourselves forgetting, we can think about the ways he's answered our prayers, and that reminds us of his goodness and his faithfulness and his faithful promises. In what areas do you struggle to trust God? What Bible verses help you to remember how much he cares for you? Dear Father, thank you for always being faithful. Help us to trust you in whatever we face today.
So people forget is the topic. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this video. So you want to go into our points?
So our first point is that getting from this, we need to trust God even when we forget all that he has done for us. And you can go.
And for us personally, like just through this pandemic and everything, we've just been trying to be grateful for just what God has given us, for income, for food, for clothing, you know, just for the small things that I think sometimes people can take for granted and just forget, like, you know, I don't have everything I want, you know, but I have the things that I need, and God is still providing for us in this time, in this really sensitive time. So I just think that's important to know that God hasn't forgot about you. He's still providing for you in the midst of this time, so it's okay, you know. So.
And I just feel like sometimes, or all the time, we get caught up into what's going on in our lives, and we just forget to thank God even for our blessings now and even for what he's gotten us through before. And I feel like we need to spend more time remembering what he's done for us, and not forget all the things that he's gotten us through those hard times.
And just keep that in the back of your mind, like, you know, like sometimes, God, I forget about you, or I forget that you've provided these things for me that I sometimes take for granted. And I think we all get like that, you know, nobody's perfect, where we just constantly, you know, thanking God. Sometimes we forget to thank God. So it's important to remember that he hasn't forgotten about us, and he's still providing for us. So,
and I think when we get caught up in ourselves and what we want, we forget what God wants for us. You know, if that makes sense.
Even if we don't like it all the time.
Yeah, even if we don't like it, even if we don't want it to happen, even if we are trying to go in the opposite direction, we forget, okay, what does God want for me?
Right.
And I think he shows that through everything that he's done for us, everything that he reveals to us and guiding us through in our life. He shows what he wants for us. So we need to keep that in mind. But our next point is through this time, God is revealing himself to us through the things that he provides for us, like Asia was saying, and through a consistency. So what do you think about that?
I just feel like it's hard to sometimes be consistent.
Yes, it is.
Even when we think, like, you know, like, I've tried this, I've tried that, and stuff like that, you know, but God is there still in the midst with us. He still wants us to be better and do better. And even though he's like, you know, I got you, you know, even though I didn't give you this right now, or even though I'm telling you the way, or I'm telling you to do things, like, he still wants and desires for us to have everything that we want and desire for ourselves, you know. And sometimes all things aren't always the best things, but still, like, he still wants what we want for ourselves. He wants us to be successful. He wants us to be healthy in this time. You know, he wants us to connect with our family and stuff like that. So I think it's just important to remember that he's still with us. He hasn't forgot about us. And I just think sometimes we forget as humans, you know, as people, we just forget that God is present in our lives sometimes. So,
and I think that the fact that he's so consistent makes me want to be consistent to him, and building my faith with him and my relationship with him, and just being thankful, like Asia mentioned, about everything that is going on in your life. Like, God is always consistent with us, so why can't we be consistent with him? You know, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't forget about us,
and that's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's a challenge every day.
Yeah,
to just be thankful and just come to him and just, you know, talk to him, because it's not easy for some people, and it's not easy for us all the time, you know.
Right.
We're still working, we're still building our faith and stuff like that. And we know that. That's why we're laughing about it. But
and that goes into our third point of how God gives you peace. When you spend time with him, when you devote yourself to him, like I said, when you are consistent and willing to build your relationship with him, you see a change in your life, your energy, your mentality, your environment. It's just everything changes around you because you're so at peace with God and you're at an understanding where he is wanting you to be at with him. You know, he wants you to spend time with him.
Even with like the chaos of the world, and just election and just, you know, just pandemic, you know, death, everything around us. Even through those times, like, God can still be your peace. God can still be your peace of mind and give you a sense of calmness, you know, like.
And I just go ahead.
No, you can go.
I just feel like when everything is moving around you, you can still be still and hear and be with God, if that makes sense. Like, you can still have that time with God. It's like, oh my gosh, so many things are going on around me, but I still have this still time. God is still in my presence.
He's
you know,
still my calmness. Even through. That's crazy. That is crazy how.
But that's good.
That's good. That is good. We were just talking about how you can just feel so still. And just everything is just moving. Like, imagine, you know, just being in the place of, in a sense of peace. Just being in that. Imagine like a tornado or something around you, you know, and you can just sit still. There. You know, like that's
like you being in God's presence.
That is,
well, God
everything.
Being in your presence. But still,
that's everything though. So
that changes everything.
I just don't think people always realize, you know, God can be that. You know, he can be that for you. And when you experience God and you experience him the way we've experienced him, everybody has different experiences with God. But when you are in a situation and he gets you out of that and he is still able to provide for you, you will understand the same feeling. And some people know. Some people already know that are watching this video. They know. They've had this feeling that we're talking about, this sense, you know, that we're talking about. But some people haven't. It's coming, though. You're going to have that. And you're going to be like, wow, God is really
I think everybody has
that.
Everybody has that moment. Even when you don't understand
realize it,
you have that moment, you know, and it feels good. It takes you to a whole different place. But our last point is how God is still present. Even though we forget, even though we are going through so much in the world, he is still present. Even though sometimes we forget to thank him, even though sometimes we're going through our own situations, like I said, he's still present, like still, and we forget. Like, I don't always get that sometimes. I question, I seriously
myself,
question,
you know,
myself. I question God in certain situations because, like, you don't have to still be present. You don't have to still be in my life and forgive me, but you do. And that's why it's important to remember to have a consistency with him in a relationship, because he gives you everything that you don't even need sometimes. Not even need, but everything you don't deserve, he gives to you.
And the verse, did you read the verse?
What verse?
Did you read the verse at the top?
Oh no. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way.
The verse,
Deuteronomy
8 and 2. 8 and 2.
8 and 2.
Deuteronomy 8 and 2, I think that in itself just like is enough for me. You know, just remembering remembering how the Lord your God led you all the way. Like, he hasn't forgotten about you. He's not going to forget about you. And even when it feels like it, when you can't sense him, you can't, like, I'm talking to you, God, you're not answering me, hello, like, do you not hear me? You know, like, some people get like that. I get like that too. Like, I'm waiting, God, I still haven't heard from you, but I'll be patient.
He's gonna make you wait.
But I'll be patient with you. But this verse definitely really speaks to me, just because it makes me want to trust God more, and it makes me like tell God, like, it's hard for me at times to trust you during this time, because I can't always place where you are in my life, but I know that you are there. It's not easy, you know, to trust somebody that you can't physically touch all the time or physically hug and go to, you know, it's hard. And we were talking about that today as well, like how it's just sometimes it can be a challenge.
It's tough to trust God through everything that's going on.
You're not alone in trusting God. We know.
Yeah, you're never alone. Don't ever think that. And I've learned that just in life.
Through experience.
Somebody's always going through something that you're going through.
Yeah. And I just feel like, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What are you about to say?
You can go ahead. I can wait.
Yeah, and I just feel like a lot of us, I just want to encourage you guys just to continue to stay focused on the things that you desire and the things that you want.
And God, he wants what's best for you. Do not forget that. I think sometimes we get so caught up in ourselves to where we don't think that, oh, God is doing this on purpose. He doesn't want what's best for me. He does. He wants
does.
everything for you, you know.
He wants that and more for you, just as well as you want it for yourself. But it's so hard to be consistent. It's so hard to remember that someone is alongside with you through your journey.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that God is there, and that, you know, you are
Still
going to be okay
present.
through this time. You know, you just have to continue to trust God. And if some people may not believe in God, continue to seek something, to seek good energy and positive energy, you know, because we all need that in our life. And you may say, oh, I'm good by myself, I don't need people. But, you know, we all need people. We all, like, seriously, we all need people.
Yeah.
When you feel down and stuff like that, we all need people. So I just want to encourage you guys to just keep going and keep pushing during this time. It's so hard and it's so sensitive. So.
And remember this saying, trust God even when you can't trace him. Like, just keep that in your head. I just feel like he's our everything. He's our comfort. Everything we need him to be, he is going to be.
Yeah, he is that and more. So we just want to encourage you guys today just to keep your head up. And this is a Speaking Spiritual 8, but it's also like just an encouraging video for you guys, you know, that we're here, you know, we're in the same position as you are. It may not always look like it or seem like that for us, but we're in the same situation you guys are. And you just have to keep pushing, and you just have to be strong about it and have strength and ask God to give you strength and pray. Pray about it, because prayer works for us.
Yeah.
And it works in general for everybody if you just seek God and just trust him, you know.
I know that in life you go through things, but at the end of the day, when you have God in the midst of it, and when you run to him for everything you need, he will change things. Like, I feel like depending on him, giving him your everything, your all, when you just don't even know who to go to, just go to God for comfort, because he loves you. He wants you to be the best version of you.
Yeah, you're loved, you're cared for by God in all ways. So don't forget that, guys. We love you guys. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for supporting us.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Stay tuned for other videos that we might have coming up, because we got some stuff coming up I'm excited about. But thanks, guys, for watching. See ya.
Bye.